Yeah, people. Yes, sir. It's a fantastic, fantastic weekend coming up. Yeah. If you're not excited about this weekend, I don't know what can get you excited. You know. Yes. Well, just to kind of let everybody know, I'm gonna turn off this music and get myself ready here. This is Real Talk with Kingsley Ogudere. Thank you for joining us today. We're doing a live update. I got a lot to kind of cover with you, so hopefully you stick with me. This weekend, if you are a sports fan, you got to be excited. I mean, you just got to be excited. Uh, I will start with the women's game. The Final Four. There's LSU, South Carolina, Iowa, and let me see who is the fourth one. I do apologize. I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, LSU's the Hokies, Virginia Tech. How can I forget Virginia Tech? All they've been doing, just whooping up on everybody too. That's the other number one seed that is in the tournament, that is left in the tournament besides South Carolina. But the matchup that everyone is looking forward to is the incredible scoring of Caitlin Clark versus the supreme defense of South Carolina. And of course, South Carolina is the defending national champion, and they had last year's AP Player of the Year in Aaliyah Boston. And of course, this year's AP Player of the Year is Caitlin Clark, who is just Steph Curry from back there. She is doing it every which way possible. But man, can she overcome that defensive prowess by South Carolina? So we got a lot to see, and not to take anything away from the LSU and Virginia Tech game, because that is going to be a battle. Man, oh man, you have really, really an exciting weekend. I love it. Um, I love the women game. I'm one of those supporters that I think there's a whole lot that we can learn from watching the women play sometimes, because they are fundamentally sound. It seems like they play the game the right way sometimes. You know what I mean? Like when you watch the game, the men, sometimes I feel like we get caught up in the and one moment. You know what I mean? Where everybody's trying to do, let me cross you over. Let me do a little bit of that. But you know what I'm talking about. Y'all played basketball. You know what's up. But man, the women, they seem like they're fundamentally sound. I know we want to see a lot more physical play and like dunking and all of that stuff. I mean, that's just something that obviously the men, we excel at, and just being physical, and of course being able to jump and dunk a little bit more frequently, right? But I really do encourage you, if you like basketball, man, you want to check out that South Carolina Iowa game. It's going to be insane, and not to take anything away, like I said, from LSU and Virginia Tech, because that is going to be you know, another hit, you know. But like, let's get to something that I really want to talk about. I'm going to get to the men's side of the March Madness, but there was a game that was on NBA game last night, Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay. Now, normally, the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm like, man, you guys are always ready to play. Giannis shows up, he has his team ready. Man, but I don't know what the hell happened to y'all last night. You know what I mean? You got beat by 40 points at your house. It's like, do you understand, the implications? This is the last 5 games of the season, right? Everyone is ramping up. Everyone is ramping up, and this is potentially who you're going to have, for the conference finals. You did. And yeah, like you fighting for the best record in the East right now, or the best record, so you can have home court advantage. Well, home court advantage doesn't mean anything if you lose by 40. You know what I mean? if you lose by 40, home court advantage doesn't mean a damn thing. You know, that just means that, you know, you're just going to, you know, subject your fans to ass whooping. So y'all better get it together. I'm not saying that you're gonna play this loudly every night, but you know, you just met a Boston team that been struggling, kind of trying to get their foot together too, and they just put their foot on your neck, you know. So hey, you know, better get it together. But staying on the NBA news, I live in Sacramento, so I gotta give props. Even though I'm a Laker fan, I know they boo me out here when I say that, but, you know, I don't give a damn. I'm a Laker fan. It is what it is, player, you know. But but you got to give shots out, like all jokes aside, man. Like I'm one of those people, man. Like just because I'm a Laker fan don't mean I don't get props. You know, like I grew up in the Bay Area. You know, I actually like Golden State. And shouts out to Golden State Warriors. They were, you know, they were the first NBA team to give me a workout. You know what I mean? So how can you hate on them? I always got love for them. But this is about Sacramento Kings. Look, I'm taking this off so we can get busy. Yo, the Sacramento Kings is in the playoff. Let me repeat this. If you didn't hear me, the Sacramento Kings is in the playoff. Last time, they had the longest drought. The longest drought. Long. Did I say long? They had the longest drought. 16 years in professional sports. The longest just got broken. And what a way to break it. They man, like, are you kidding me? 45 wins already? The Kings? 45 wins. They had 45 wins in 3 seasons combined. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just keeping it real. And now Mike Brown is hired. He changes the culture. He brings in, you know, that winning mentality. And what do you have? Results. Results. Kudos. You know, kudos to Sacramento Kings. You deserve applause and applause and applause, honestly. Because, man, to turn it around in 1 year, they might win the freaking division. That's incredible. And Mike Brown, you know, is an excellent coach. Excellent, excellent coach. He's the head coach of the Nigerian national team, which is my former national team. So I give him props. And I was there last year or during the Olympics, you know, when they were preparing for the Olympics. I flew to Las Vegas to watch them, you know, play against the United States team, you know, which included Kevin Durant and so on. And they went on to beat that team, you know, and that was the eventual gold medal team in the Olympics, right? So Mike Brown he's an underrated coach. People, you know, forget that he took LeBron to the finals with a bunch of journeyman players, right? I mean, they had Verjao and who they have on that team. You know what I mean? I don't even know if I can name, you know, 3 players on that team, you know. But, you know, Eric Snow, Verjao, and a bunch of guys, you know, they went to the finals. Yeah, granted, they got swept, but, you know, I mean, they got to the finals. They beat the East, you know. So, man, we got to give props where props is due, man. So that's really, really impressive. Mike Brown, obviously, hands down, he should be coach of the year. I don't know how anyone can dispute it. You turned an organization around that was just a laughingstock. You know, I mean, I'm just going to keep it real. The Kings were a laughingstock. You know, anyone that didn't think so can go to their home games and see it themselves. The other fans will have more. You know, I'm a Laker fan, but when I went to the game there, you know, they booed the starting lineup of the Kings. The whole place, you know, I mean, it seemed like a home game for the Lakers, you know. But that culture is changing because you know what happens is when you win, you know, now the local businesses, local people, man, believe it or not, I don't care what people tell you. Every city is a bandwagon fans. You know what I mean? That's all it is. When you start winning, there's a buzz in the city. Everybody is hype. Man, they lighten the beam every time. 45 wins, they lit that beam. You know what I mean? And they got a great marketing scheme with it. Everybody's, light the beam, light the beam. But my point is, man, congratulations to Sacramento. Keep doing what you're doing. As somebody that lives in the city, I would say, yeah. I appreciate you guys making basketball relevant, because I hate it when when your team sucks, and it's no fun talking crazy to, people that know that their team sucks. It's better when you hype them up a little bit. But no, this is unreal though. Sacramento is a really solid team, and I'm actually, eager to see what they're going to do. Maybe I'll go to the game and actually enjoy myself, watch real basketball for a change. How about? All right, moving on. Let's go find something else here. The men. There's no easy way, to say this, but obviously this year, we have a host of newcomers. UConn being the only one that has been to the Final Four. You know what I mean? Like only champion, the only one that's tasted cutting down the net. So we have the Final Four on the men's side. We have UConn. We have Florida Atlantic. We have San Diego State, Cali, yeah. And we have Miami. Wow. In the beginning of the season, honestly, anyone, pick any of these teams to be in the Final Four? How about when you were filling out your bracket? How many people picked these teams to be in the Final Four? How many? You'll probably find a handful of that, right? But this actually is very good. It shows the diversity in college basketball these days. It shows, that, the seniors, that transfer portal is actually been, I think is what's made the biggest, difference, is because you have players now able to transfer and not be forced to sit out, because that was a big impediment, when you, let's say if you are unhappy on a program, there's various reasons that you can be unhappy on the program. It could be playing style. It could be that the coach, you fell out of favor with the coach, but when you have a short time span as an athlete, sometimes you want to make that move. But I think that transfer portal has opened up an avenue where, these players now are able to move around. So you have older players, more mature players, and it doesn't hurt that COVID, from a few years ago, all these players got extra year of eligibility that they can sit and mature. So now you have these smaller schools where they normally they don't get an opportunity to season these guys or get some grown men like this, and that's basically what you have, more experienced players. So these schools, it kind of balances out the talent, the super talent that you have, the one and dones. They go to the North Carolina, the Dukes, and the purebred, blue bred, programs where they're, sometimes regarded as the elites. Okay. So, this is very fantastic. So congratulations to Florida Atlantic, San Diego State, Miami, and then of course, the one powerhouse that's in there, the UConn, Huskies. But anyways, that should be some exciting matchups coming up. UConn is obviously, a blue blood and one of the favorites at this time. This is their fifth national title since 1999. You know what I mean? So it would put the Huskies ahead of UCLA, who has 0. North Carolina, who has 3, and Kentucky, who has 1, and Duke has 3, and of course Kansas has 2. In the same time, time stretch. So it's since 1999, so that tells you that they've been on point, So, but anyways, man, so of UConn, that's, they have the, probably the strongest chance there. Florida Atlantic, you can't put anything past them. They're the best rebounding team. They just on the glass, cleaning it up. And of course, San Diego State, probably the best defensive team in the tournament left. and these guys really get after it. So they're going to, get at you. And of course, Miami has a little bit of controversies, they got those NIL players, the super dupers, but you got to give props to Jim Larraga, in terms of the job that he's done with that Miami squad. So it's really, really, really admirable what they've done. I know we joke about it a lot, but man, they got boys over there, and hey, man, who doesn't want to go to Miami? If I can be on the beach kicking my leg up, man, I would. So NCAA tournament coming up this weekend is really, 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 really exciting. So we're gonna have the men, the women, everybody battling it out. But as we get closer, this weekend, there's going to be some great games starting tonight even. You're going to have the Lakers in action. You're going to have the Warriors in action. You're going to have Philly. You're going to have the Grizzlies. You're going to have everybody over the weekend just, trying to get down, as we round up the NBA season. This is it. There's like 4 or 5 games, 6 games at the max left. That's the maximum games that somebody had. I think the Lakers have 6 games left. That's the max. And you know how the contest is in the West. You lose 2 games, you go from 6th place to 12th. You're out of the tournament, or you're out the playoff. Everybody is gearing down. Golden State has picked it up. Man, oh man, I was scratching my head like, man, these cats, man. They seem to know when to turn it on, when to turn it off. They've been, kind of going up and down through the season, and all of a sudden, they are at it. But tonight, you got Chicago and Charlotte. They're going to be going at it. That's the East. We ain't going to worry too much about that. OKC and Indiana. Now, this is going to be a crucial game because, OKC can't afford to lose another game. They're 38-39. They drop one more. How about? Now Dallas will overtake them, and they'll be on the outside looking in on the 11th spot. So this is really, really crucial. Everybody is tight over there. Toronto is at Philly. Orlando is at Washington. And Utah is going to be at Boston. Atlanta is at Brooklyn. New York Knicks is at Cleveland. Detroit is at Houston. And the Clippers is at Memphis. Now, that's a game that we want to take a look at. The Los Angeles Clippers against the Memphis Grizzlies. That game, is West on West. You lose that game, Memphis can afford to lose, but they might drop out of that 3rd place they are in now, right? They'll drop smooth out. If the Clippers lose, man, that is terrible. You talk about the penalties and losing 2 games could be missing the playoff entirely. So it is harsh in the West. So, but we're going to keep an eye on that game. The Clippers, they're 41-36. The Memphis Grizzlies is 48-28. So they got a lot of cushion over there. Now, this is what I'm talking about. The Lakers is 38-38. We're at 500. And they're playing Minnesota. Minnesota is at 39-38. So literally whoever loses that game, is literally shooting himself in the foot. That's like going, pow! Shoot yourself in the foot. It is going to be intense going down. Golden State is hosting San Antonio Spurs. That game, Spurs are playing for the lottery, it seems like. They're playing for the Frenchman. They're playing for the 7-foot, forever Frenchman. So Golden State should be able to handle that game, but you never know, especially in the West. Anybody can smack anybody. And Golden State, if they lose that game, they're in trouble. Because they're only a game and a half ahead of the 7th place, or ahead of the 9th place team, 9th place team, which is the Lakers, right? Golden State is in the 6th spot, which means that they're in the playoff. If they drop below the 6th spot, they're in the play-in. So it is dangerous. And of course, Sacramento is hosting Portland again. They just smacked up Portland, but they hosting them again. But this is much props to Sacramento. They got 46 wins now. They're 46-30. You know what I mean? 46-30. Does that even sound right? 46-30. The Sacramento Kings. How about? And of course, we're going to round this off with Denver Nuggets at Phoenix Suns. That's a game I want to see. Phoenix is making their run with Kevin Durant, and of course with Kevin Durant, you never know what's going to happen, man. You never know. Hopefully he stays healthy, but Kevin Durant can give you a 40-piece at any time. So we know the NBA playoffs is going to be thick this year. Man, let me know what you think. Please let me know, because at this point, I'm excited about this weekend. This is going to be a phenomenal sports weekend. And if you like hoop like I do, man, I always say basketball is life. You know what I mean? Basketball is life. If you can get out there and hoop, man, get out there and put some shots up. And if you can't do nothing but watch the game, man, get you a cold beer, get you some chips, some snacks. Just sit in front of that TV and do what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to be talking mess. This Real Talk with Kingsley, man. Thank you for tuning in, man. Please hit the like button, subscribe, so I can keep bringing you content. And check out some of my videos. I have a lot of videos, a lot of, some things going on. And of course, I got the podcast going on where I talk to former players, athletes. They give you a little bit of insights on what's going on in their life. So please hit the like button, so we can keep bringing you good stuff. Until next time, keep it talking, keep it real, and play some hoop, y'all. I'm out of here.